Good morning, Forest Grove Community Church family. This is a video to all of our sites, and hopefully this will reach out to all of our members and people who attend any of our sites from either North Site, Broadway, or at our Attridge site. I'm Bruce Enns, Lead Pastor of Forest Grove Community Church. I just want to update you on this COVID-19 crisis. As we all know, that it's affecting every one of our lives every day, hour by hour, and so we've been trying to discern and be diligent about what it means to be a good neighbor as it relates to our services and our programs. And this morning, as I met together with our lead team, and as we've been praying and discerning the decisions around that, we've decided to suspend all programming, Forest Grove Community Church programming at each of our sites in each of our buildings. And we're doing that effective immediately, and that would be initially for the next 2 weeks. And so we're saying right now up until midnight Saturday, March 28th, we will suspend all programming. That means we'll decide in the days ahead about what happens beyond that time frame. But we wanted to give you some clear indication of what's happening in these next 2 weeks. So that means for this coming Sunday, this weekend, on the 15th and also the 22nd, there will not be any corporate worship gatherings at any of our sites, and any of the programs that happen during the weeks from our congregations will not happen in our buildings. If small groups decide to meet and to pray, we just ask you to follow the healthcare protocols and be wise in that and make your own decisions in that regard. When it comes to rental groups, we are working with each of our rental groups and talking with them about our decision for Forest Grove programs, and so that'll be decided on a case-by-case basis, probably today and in the days ahead related to that. We want you to know that this isn't a fear-based decision. This is a decision of wanting to be good neighbors in our community, and we want to love our city. And at this time, I guess I would really encourage all of us to think about and pray about how do we actually live out the gospel and take advantage of this. And even in my devotions recently, I was reading in Mark chapter 6, and it's the story of when the disciples are in the boat and there's this storm raging, and Jesus is walking on the water, and they call out to him. And Jesus' response to them is so personal and I think really timely for us right now. He says, "Don't be afraid." He says, "Take courage." And he says, "I am here." And that's the beauty of the gospel of Jesus Christ, is that we have a God who is Emmanuel, God with us, and we don't have to be fearful. God is in control, and Jesus is with us. And so just want to encourage you with that word. And also, I just pray and ask you to think about, how do we be the church in a creative way? How can we actually create community in unique ways in this unique time when we're actually not supposed to gather? How do we experience the love of Jesus and also model that for other people and share that with other people? How do we serve other people and proclaim the gospel together in this season in a unique way? So even though the church can't gather right now and we're deciding not to, we are still the church scattered. And so we don't cease to exist being the church. We are the church. And so my encouragement to each one of us is to continue to be the church, proclaiming and living out of the hope of the gospel in really significant ways during this season. And I just pray that the fruit of the Spirit would be evident in us all. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, that those things of the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians 5 would just be part of who we are as we desire to be the church during this time. So even though we may not be gathering for corporate worship on these Sundays, a couple of things you might consider. Online, we have a number of our sermons from our Attridge site anyways, and I know Broadway records theirs as well. But you can go online and listen to some of our sermons, even from our Kingdom Economics series from previous weeks. There's also unlimited sermons there from other places, from other weeks and months as well too. Also, there's many options for blogs and other places that you can go, including Right Now Media, which is one of our resources that you have. And at the bottom of this email will be a link and instructions about how to sign up for Right Now Media if you don't have that already. And there's all kinds of resources there as well too that you can access. If you'd like further information, I'd encourage you can phone our office at 933-2266. You can also go online. We're going to put regular updates online on our website, on each of our websites. For each of our sites, we have various social media communications on Facebook, Instagram, and the e-bulletin for Attridge congregants, that'll be going out as well. And we'll do as many regular updates as we can to keep you informed about what's next. So thank you, and may God bless you. May you not live in fear, but in peace and just in the joy of the Lord, even in these times of uncertainties. We just pray for you in that way. Also, I'd just like to mention, if there are financial needs or in your creative ideas of how you can be the church, we have a benevolent fund that we want to leverage and utilize in this season, and maybe there are unique ways that you can talk to some of our staff about where it's needed and how we might use that as well. So with that, I'll conclude, and we as a staff are going to still be coming to work and being involved in our workspaces. The buildings are not closed as such, but gatherings and programs are. We'll be praying for you and want to serve in whatever ways we can. And so may the peace of Christ be with you, and may God encourage you and strengthen you in these days.